Hi, welcome to this week's episode of the Pull List Examiner. This is my weekly video where I take a look at the top 3 choices of comic books that I'm looking forward to reading on New Comic Book Day. New Comic Book Day this week is going to be Wednesday, September 21st, 2022. So let's take a look at my top 3 choices for this week. Coming in at number 3 this week is going to be Nightwing, issue 96. Tom Taylor has brought us this amazing story and introduced a new character called Heartless, and after the series has jumped in and out of several DC events, we're back on what appears to be the main plot for Nightwing, and I am really looking forward to seeing what Tom Taylor has up his sleeves as we dig into the story and into this plot. Last issue we saw some interesting changes that happened with, let's just call it the government. I don't want to give any spoilers away. So as we look into this next issue, what's happening in Bloodhaven, it will be interesting to see what happens with Nightwing. Coming in this week at number 2 is going to be 20th Century Man, issue number 2 from Image Comics. When this comic was released last month, it was not something that was on my radar. I saw another YouTube channel recommend it, so I decided, hey, I'll pick up this issue because it sounded like something that was new, different, unique, and I like when that happens. So the plot is something like, what if the Cold War happened where Russia was actually more in charge of the global political system instead of the United States? And in this alternate reality that's in this comic book, there is a person who you could call possibly the Russian version of Iron Man, and the story has been very unique. The art is really on point, so it has been a good first issue, so I'm looking forward to seeing what they'll come up with in this issue number 2. And at number 1 this week we have Batman the Knight, issue number 9, and this series is winding down. We're almost to the last issue, the final issue, as Chip Zdarsky has now taken over the main Batman title. I haven't seen any crossover yet between this 10-issue series, the mini-series that he worked on, and the new main title run, but I think at some point there will be some overlap that we're going to start to see. And I will say that this series has been really good so far, definitely worth reading if you're a Batman fan. It was just Batman Day this past weekend. I picked up my free Batman comics at the comic shop, and I did not watch any Batman movies, unfortunately, but I'm a huge Batman fan, and I have to say that this run has been amazing for Chip Zdarsky, and looking forward to that issue number 10 that's going to be coming out very soon, and also to his main run as well. But it definitely hits the number 1 spot on my list for this week. This week there were no Marvel titles on my list, on my pull list, and I have to say that I'm kind of disappointed that there wasn't something from Marvel that I could pick out and say, hey, I'm really looking forward to reading. But with that said, I'm also going to drop it. And that's right, I'm dropping it because I no longer want it on my pull list, and that is going to be Marvel's Wolverine. I don't know if it's because it's being tied back into Judgment Day right now. This event, Judgment Day, seems to be taking over several titles over at Marvel, but I am not reading any of them. I was disappointed with some of the previous events that Marvel's done over the last couple years. I did like the run that came from Daredevil, where Chip Zdarsky introduced Devil's Reign as a title that stretched across the Marvel Universe. But Judgment Day is not something I have been reading, and I did not understand anything in the last issue of Wolverine, which is sad because the previous 2 or 3 issues where they introduced Deadpool were some of my favorite Marvel comics I've read all year. So unfortunately, Marvel, this week Wolverine is leaving the pull list. Thanks again for watching the Pull List Examiner. As always, you will get my full pull list in the description of the video below, and feel free to always drop a comment, tell me what you're reading. Got any recommendations for me, let me know. I try to always recommend what I'm reading on my videos. So remember to read them, bag them, and board them, and we'll see you next time on the Pull List Examiner. Have a good one.